Edo State Governor Godwin Obaseki on Monday said he would accept his defeat in the upcoming gubernatorial elections provided the elections is free and fair. Obaseki, who is the candidate of the People's Democratic Party (PDP), however, expressed worry over the security of voters in the state. The governor made this known in an interview with journalists shortly after meeting with the Inspector General of Police (IGP) Mohammed Adamu at the force headquarters in Abuja. The governor, who was at the police headquarters to brief the IGP on the security situation in the state and to appeal for deployment of police personnel to curb violence that may erupt during the elections, said as a Democrat, he would accept the outcome of a free contest, even as he boasted that he was sure of a convincing victory from all indications. The election is almost a no contest because we cannot even find the opposition party in the field. So the issue of me losing is very remote except something miraculous happens. If I lose in a fair contest as a Democrat, I would accept, but from what we know today, from all evidence available, Edo people have spoken and we just want an opportunity for them to express their views on that day. Our concern is that people wouldn't be allowed to vote peacefully and express themselves the way they deserve, he said. The governor, who said his visit to the IGP was out of concern for security, said they had finished an intensive campaign across the 192 wards of the state and the main issue that stood out in their sojourn was the concern about violence in the election. Obaseki, accompanied by some National Assembly's members of the state, chairman of the PDP and a former deputy governor of the state, said there was apprehension in the state following the spate of violence in the past week, adding that they had listed 10 of such violence and submitted to the IGP for actions. The governor said that 80% of the attacks carried out against his supporters were in Edo North, lamented that they had reported the cases to the police but not one person had been arrested in connection to the incident, thereby making some people feel there is no deterrent for such actions. He therefore appealed to the IGP that something be done to serve as deterrent to would-be troublemakers during the polls. He assured that as a party they were committed to ensuring there is peace in the elections and urged the police to communicate to all actors that they are going to be impartial, fair and strict in ensuring peaceful elections. The IGP, while welcoming the governor and his entourage to his office, said the police would not tolerate violence from anyone. Urged them to talk to their supporters not to engage in violence that they may mar the elections or have themselves to blame. On the reported violence submitted by the governor, the IGP promised to refer the cases to the Force Criminal Investigation Department for further investigation, even as he noted that he has been on top of the situation and arrested persons in the state for violence. The IGP, while noting that there were individuals known for their acts of violence, said the police have identified such persons and would not allow them to carry out their plans. He again assured that the police would remain professional in the elections and ensure a level playing field for everybody, saying that any police officer who goes against the directives would be identified and dealt with according to the law. So guys, the governor has said that in a free and fair contest that if he will accept defeat. But another thing that they always talk about, that they are the chief security officer of the state. I don't know why that is not really happening, because most of the governors have come out to say no, that is not the case. I think one of the governors sometime 2 years ago or last year or so from the northern part of the country, one of the governors came out and said no, that is no longer the chief security officer of the state, in as much he does not have a control over what happens, because even if he talks to the commissioner, is it a commissioner of police in the state, that they don't take directives from him. And that's one of the things they are really avoiding for this state policing, because they believe that governors would use them to their own advantage. But what do we now have at the federal level? What do they do with such power? Do they really use it against the the opposition? Because from most of the time when when an election is coming up in a state, we usually hear this issue of federal might, federal might, federal might, and it didn't just start now. It has been right from time immemorial. So saying that he's going to accept defeat, meaning that if anything comes up, fine. If he sees that everything is in line, when you talk about a free and fair election, that he will accept defeat. I think that's what is expected of him to say. Most importantly, I think they should really need to learn from what, or take the advice of the Oba, because Oba has told them to emulate Goodluck Jonathan. So if anything or such thing happens, they just have to be careful and just do the needful, instead of creating unnecessary tension in the state. Well, let's hear what people are saying concerning this whole thing. And he's been able to relate the outcome of his meeting with the IGP. There's no free and fair election in Nigeria. Buhari didn't win election. Osun governor didn't win his election. Remember, Imo State governor took third position. Nothing good work when APC is concerned. Even in Lagos, PDP won, but APC is in power. The system is destroyed. Okay? Okay, this particular person is really right. APC is in power, even when, so that is why we are experiencing all of those weather rigging or whatever. But don't forget to, PDP was in power and they did worse. So at the end of the day, they are all together. They are all together in this. Don't forget what Shaibu said, that he knows Ezeyamu very well. That even in the dark, he will be able to pinpoint him. He will be able to say, oh, this is him. He said he knows Oshomole as well. They know themselves. They work together, so they know how it's placed. That's why they are accusing themselves, because you can't tell me that they've not shared secrets among themselves. They were working together. So what do you expect? We are having the same set of people in the same party. They just swap. So they know themselves. That's why they are, any little thing, they know that if anything comes, they know that okay, it is coming from this place, and this is what you can do, because they've all done it before. They've all done it before. Even the ones that are in other party, they know. They know how all of these things play at that level. So for someone to say that that anything, as far as the APC is concerned, that there's no free and fair election, whether there has been free and fair election before now, it's another thing. But in my opinion, I believe that is the precedent that has been set. But unfortunately, APC came to deceive Nigerians, saying that all of those things that PDP, what they were doing as at that time, that is not the way to go. Not knowing that they were deceiving Nigerians. They came in and began to do more. And that's why we can say, yes, PDP started it, and they are finishing the work. They are together. So there's no difference between the two parties. They know what they are talking about, except on some some isolated cases, exception of some people, because you can't say all of them, but majority of them, they work hand in hand. How many of them have really changed? They have changed parties. How many times? They've changed parties like rappers. Okay, someone say you are defeated already. Mark my word. Omo, this man don't fall my hand. Okay, you will be dreaming to think that APC would allow a free and fair election. APC as a party is rejected by all. Now, as I can see, I can't imagine anybody still supporting them. So guys, let's say your opinion concerning the submission of Obaseki.